All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paste this right here. This is the report I am about to read. Sumner County Court Docket. Case number 19CR25. Date of birth 1980. Address North Glen, Colorado. Date of alleged crime October 18th, 2019. Happy birthday to me. You put your fucking daughter in danger, you son of a bitch. That was what happened on my birthday. I found out about it the day after my birthday. It says charges. Count 1, attempting to elude police officer involving reckless driving, level 9 felony. Count 2, possession of methamphetamine, level 5 drug felony. Count 3, possession of marijuana, class A misdemeanor. Count 4, possession of drug paraphernalia, class B misdemeanor. Case description. Bollinger is accused of driving at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour, straddling the center line, passing on the right shoulder, and other traffic violations while on I-35. He also allegedly had 18 grams of methamphetamine, 3 pipes, and a gram of marijuana in the rental car he was driving. Allegedly, according to the complaint report, Bollinger was driving northbound and was fleeing from Kay County, Oklahoma. Officers on I-35 going northbound into Kansas who were asking for assistance. During the pursuit, a Sumner County trooper noticed Bollinger was exceeding speeds of 100 miles per hour, straddling the center line and passing vehicles on the shoulder and other traffic violations. During the chase, other police officers became involved, which reached Sedgwick County onto exit 42, where Bollinger then turned around and went south onto I-35 southbound to Plaza 39 Hayesville exit, and then onto various roads in Sedgwick County. While westbound on 44th Street, a trooper was able to execute a tactical vehicle intervention that pinned the fleeing vehicle against a tree trunk. Basically, they attempted to kill him and his daughter Alicia. According to the complaint, Bollinger had a passenger who was his daughter. That would be Alicia Michelle Bollinger. She was transported to Wesley Hospital complaining of stomach pain and having hit her head on the dash. Bollinger was transported to Sumner County Jail. All right. Now, let's go to, well, we'll go to my Facebook here. And we will go to, let's see. This is a closed group so that evidence isn't destroyed. It's called the Real Justice for Natalie Bollinger Group, no drama. And we will look at one of the 7 or 8 situations with her father and herself. Let's see. Scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down. Let's see. Here's the stuff between, this is between me and Shauna Sinclair. Here's the missing women of Hardin, Montana. Let's see. Still scrolling. I know it's here somewhere. Now, mind you, I suppose I should bring those up as well. I'm going to bring up, because that might take a while, I'm going to bring up my YouTube channel and situations that happened when Alicia disappeared. Now, mind you, this is the 3rd time that she disappeared since the death of her sister, and the 3rd time that I pleaded for help from the public to help find her and get her safe, the same as I did when her sister disappeared. Let's see, we'll go to, it says your channel. We'll click on that. go to videos, and then we'll hit the little search thing. We'll type Alicia is missing. All right, we'll post up these links here. Bobby Forrest informed me that Alicia was missing. He called me up as I was getting off the bus in Rapid City, South Dakota. Here's how it happened. I'm pulling into Rapid City, South Dakota. I've been on buses and in bus stations my entire birthday, which it's just another day. They all fucking suck. And we drive by the mall there. There's a bunch of police officers out there with their lights flashing. I found out later on that they had a situation there. And as I was getting off the bus, I got a message from Bobby Forrest saying that Alicia was missing. And of course, yeah, I think she deserves prison. That doesn't mean I don't give a shit about her. Now, especially after finding out that she was with her dad at the time, like, holy shit, yeah, that fucking freaked me the fuck out. Now, mind you, at this point in time, they already have both of them, Alicia and her father, have some definite trouble over methamphetamines in specific. What the hell just happened there? All right, first off, we'll close that one out. For some odd reason, it opened it up in an incognito window. Literally, it's as I was getting off the bus there. And that was a very scary situation for me. It was also cold, very cold. I did what I could to try to help find her. It doesn't matter if you want to be my enemy or not. If you're missing, I'm going to do what I can. Now, the place that they dropped her off is a motel there that's known for some pretty shady business, and this is a puny, pretty white girl who's got a heroin and meth addiction and just got into a high-speed chase with her dad, and they're dropping her off in a neighborhood where, yeah, people don't mind dropping your body in a dumpster. It's also right across the street from a funeral home. We'll go to the real justice for Natalie Bollinger. She was found safe, thank goodness. Let's see, this one is two screenshots that I took. Let's see, date 9/3/19 at 8 o'clock a.m. Courtroom 1H. Bollinger, Alicia, hearing type, arraignment, case number D302019CR2629, Jefferson County, CTRM 5D. Now, mind you, this isn't the only one that they had. And then we'll go to 8/22/19, 2 o'clock p.m., courtroom 1H, Bollinger, Ted, preliminary hearing, case number D12019CR2749, Adams County, Division 7. Now, mind you, he had this in multiple counties, and I have that on one of my telephones. That'll take a while to scroll to as well. I think what I'll do is I suppose I should use my phone for this, huh? We will open it up. We'll pop it up so that it's big. I'll turn this sideways and turn it to camera, and we will post this up. Now there's multiples of these. I only put 2 of them up on this site, but there were a great many of them. Well, I was never ever busted with drugs or a firearm. Ted Bollinger has been, repeatedly. Um, these are the people who wanted to try to paint me as some sort of a villain. Now, I also have evidence from Danica Garner as well as Rochelle Shelley Campbell that goes into their drug addictions. Let's see. Here's the ones from Maddie Boa. This one is from Mahalia Jean Pierre. I suppose I should hold this up to show them to you. I've been trying to show people the truth as much as possible. This is from Maddie Boa. This is the one from Mahalia Jean Pierre. She's one of the people I was going to Virginia with. Here's with Rose M. Kelly. I mean, there's really a lot of stuff up here. There really is. I'll stop that now at 51 seconds and we'll start to download it. That way you guys can see it. I should probably wait for this to finish before doing so. But the fact is that the reason that I was trying to show this stuff, trying to show the truth and the whole truth, is in the hopes that somebody actually gave a shit about their own human rights. See, if they can do this to me, yes, they can do it to you. Now, the factors that allow them to get away with doing it to me, that prevent them from doing it to you, well, for many of you, I'm glad that you don't have those risk factors or the large quantity of those risk factors. But the fact is, that doesn't mean that you won't. Here's something with Rick Reigenborn. I really did try to show as much as possible. Rochelle Shelley Campbell. This group seems to be going backwards instead of forward. I am so sick of Natalie's name being attached to groups filled with drama and fake accounts. Me too. We should have been taken out in court, Rochelle Shelley Campbell. But you and your friends wanted to create drama. You and your family and extended family wanted to create drama. That's on you, Rochelle. This could have been dealt with in court. But you wanted to work with crooked police officers to prevent me from having that day in court. You, an addict, whereas I am not. You who put your children in danger repeatedly. You're sick in the head, Rochelle. I said, you should all listen to Natalie's very own words. Yeah, exactly, Rochelle Shelley Campbell. I posted up Natalie's own words. And then there's the part where only the stuff that she was freaking out and faking shit with other people was allowed to be shown. The messages between her and I, nobody gave a shit about. But those were her words. Those were her words, Rochelle Shelley Campbell. That she made public on her own. So only the slander is what should be allowed to be seen. Is that right, Rochelle Shelley Campbell? Only slander should be allowed to be seen, but none of the stuff that proved that it's slander should be allowed. Is that what it is? Well, that right there just goes to show how sick in the head you are, Rochelle Shelley Campbell. It said she would have never wanted any of this damed drama. You know what? I didn't want any of this damed drama either, Rochelle Shelley Campbell. The fact is, it shouldn't have been thousands of people attacking me over shit they knew nothing about. You want people to mind their own business, but then you want to slander my name and get all up in my business, even though it's not your business and it's also not true. But whatever, you're female, so it's okay, right? It's okay for you to be a drug addict. It's okay for Danica Garner to be a drug addict. It's okay for Ted Bollinger to be a drug addict. It's okay for him to beat you, isn't it? Um, Most of the other groups cleared it up. Actually, they destroyed evidence of the slander that people were harming me over. So why is this group and you people continuing it? Now, either take Natalie's name out of it, out of the title, or clean it up. Put Lopez's name up there or something. Again, so much disrespect to Natalie and her family in this group. Natalie's family. Fuck Natalie's family. Fuck them. Those people have no right to talk about disrespect. None whatsoever after the bullshit that they pulled. None. Not Rochelle, not Danica, not Ted, not Alicia. None of these people deserve respect for what they've done. These are addicts who chose to fuck with people, slander an innocent man's name, and go out of their way to play victim. In addition, they worked with crooked cops to prevent me from showing evidence, to prevent me from going to court, and to try to pretend that I wouldn't go to court. I went to over 20 court dates between when Natalie was killed and when I ultimately had to break the law to try to force them to look at evidence. Because in all of those 20 court dates, I also had a meeting with a public pretender that they set up on a different day, and then a meeting with an investigator for the public pretender's office that they set up on a different day. Each of these costing me around $100 because I have to travel from somewhere where I am almost reasonably safe to somewhere where I am in definite danger of harassment by the police, assaults, and many other situations that really I shouldn't have ever had to deal with to begin with. So we're talking about over 60 of these situations before I literally lit a fire and threatened the President of the United States out of desperation. She wants me to put Lopez's name up here. I'm not putting Lopez's name up here. This is the name of the group when Katie Cahill started it. When Katie Cahill started this group, that was the name of it. And mind you, this is the second group that she started because this woman, Rochelle Shelley Campbell, and her friend, Kara Johnson Miles, if you guys listen to the conversations between me and Katie Cahill, well, they were up to some pretty fucked up shit. Now, let's see. I could probably find the conversations with Katie Cahill. Um, let's see. Space. KayetteeCahill. Um, see if I can find them. I don't know. Let's click on this one. I do know that she was trying to have them removed from YouTube. Um, Actually, I guess the best way to do it is to go to videos, sort by date added oldest. I'm also going to put up the conversation between myself and Samantha D, as well as myself and Bobby Forrest. So I'll get that started in another tab while I find this, because I'll have to do a little bit of scrolling. Um, Christine, Graham 1, David Nelson, Darren O'Connor long call, C Tap, Graham 2, A Bear, Jeff Ritter, A Bear, Cammy J, Laura 1, Katie. Copy link address right over here on the side. And there you go. All right. And then we will go to, and there's more than one by Katie. I suppose I'll put this one up by Mandy Hughes. Now, those phones, um, when Mandy got pissed off when she found out, well, when I told her that I posted that up, conversations between her and I, when I let her know about that, she let me know about how afraid of Ted Bollinger she is, and how she had seen him in the grocery store on at least 2 different occasions. Let's see. I know there are more by Katie. Here's one, K Cahill. Copy link address. We'll post that one over here as well. Let's see, Brian Schwartz, and B. What I chose, anti-homeless McDonald's, playing superhero, homeless issues, apes together strong, Miss Candace, missing women of Hardin, Montana. Looks like I made 4 different videos in Mary's room in Hardin, Montana. Missing women of Hardin, Montana, toxic people, selfish addictions, and Julia Wolf, family guardian. Fuck it. We'll also put up this one from Andre Gagasian. It's called Gagasian Weaponry. This guy, and it might sound crazy to y'all right now, but this guy wanted to buy an engine from me. And then he later let me know that he wanted to use it for killing. And at that point, I was no longer interested in helping him. The fact is, I did everything that I could with the resources that I had. And that's what people don't want to pay attention to. They want to pretend that I could have done all this magic stuff without the resources that they have. They have ideas based on their resources and their abilities. And there's a lot of little shit that you just don't think about if you've never been in the situation. If you've never been homeless, then telling somebody to just go down to this office or that office, for them it's just a matter of, I just drive down there and it's done. It takes 5 minutes to drive there and 5 minutes to drive back. But then again, if you're walking, it's not 5 minutes, is it? And then if you're walking with a backpack on your back, it's definitely not 5 minutes. And then if you're injured or disabled and impaired, well, then it's an even longer walk than that. People say, oh, why don't you just get on the bus? Well, who says you have the money for the bus? Well, you should just panhandle. Well, don't you tell us not to panhandle? You should get a job. Hmm. I get that most of this was just a ramble. I do. That happens often. I'm constantly overwhelmed, so when I'm lucky enough to be able to speak without fucking freaking out, I actually feel pretty good about it. I'm glad that I'm able to speak. Of course, I still have anxiety right now, but it's not extreme. Um, I'm just glad that Ted Bollinger, at least for the time being, doesn't have access to harm his daughter. He doesn't have access to harm Alicia Bollinger. He doesn't have Luna or little Ted. He doesn't have the ability to, let's see, what was I looking for? Ted Bollinger. Kansas. Let's see. This one's actually about Alicia Bollinger. Now, I was actually calling news stations in Kansas to try to make them post up about her missing. Um, Bollinger, 21, was last seen Saturday afternoon at a hotel in Wichita. She was found Monday and shared her gratitude to those who've helped her. You're welcome, Alicia. Says previous story. Family members are asking for assistance in finding a 21-year-old woman who's been reported missing. Alicia Bollinger was last seen Saturday afternoon at the Napa Motel at 1125 South Broadway in Wichita. Who is from Sumner County. She's not. Stands about 4'10", weighs 85 pounds, and has long blonde hair, green eyes. Actually, she doesn't have green eyes. She has a tattoo of mandala on her upper right arm and an eye tattooed on the palm of her right hand. I got an eye tattooed on my arm. It's just an eye, I suppose. The Kansas Highway Patrol confirms Bollinger was the passenger in a vehicle involved in a pursuit on Friday. She was taken to a Wichita hospital that day, and the KHP was later able to help drop her off at the Napa Motel. The patrol says Friday's pursuit began in Kay County, Oklahoma, and is being investigated by the Kansas Turnpike Authority. Anybody with information is asked to call the Wichita Police Department at, and they gave me the number, and it says this Facebook post is no longer available. It may have been removed, or the privacy settings of the post may have changed. Cute. Now, Alicia Bollinger slandered the shit out of my name, and then had somebody shoot her in the fucking head, and I had a whole bunch of people threatening to kill me over that. I still get death threats, matter of fact. When Alicia disappeared, again, I got a bunch of death threats. Every time somebody disappears, I end up getting death threats. Somehow, magically, Sean Schwartz must be involved. Sean Schwartz must have killed these people. Blah, blah, fucking blah. And see, that's why it's important to get an honest day in court. Like I said from the beginning, Ted Bollinger is the person who is most likely to do these things. It's usually the dad. Statistically, when it comes to sexual abuse of a child, it's the dad. Now, in this case, Ted is an exceptional piece of shit because his daughter is still child sized. Obviously, she is not a child. She is a grown-ass adult. When I turned 18, I was charged as an adult. Now, you are not considered an adult at 18 here in Nebraska. You're not considered an adult until you're 19. However, because I was 18 and they wanted to charge me as an adult, they emancipated me, which they had not done previously when I had asked them to. I wanted to be emancipated from my mother, who was a drug addict, just like Ted Bollinger. But instead, they gave me a choice between Pine Ridge Job Corps Center or going to juvie. I chose Pine Ridge Job Corps Center. But I wasn't a pretty girlie who was strung out on heroin and methamphetamines. I was a sober male covered in pimples. I was not a good looking feller. I was at Colton Boys and Girls Home with one of Jerry Sparks' exes working there, and she later dated him several more times. I actually rescued from him at least once. His name is Andrew Buchter. Now, what's the point of all of that? It's that I was a better person. I was a better human being than Alicia Bollinger. I just wasn't good looking and I wasn't female. So while I got charges on my adult record, they emancipated me so that they could charge me as an adult. It literally went like this. I went into the courtroom. They talked about emancipating me. The judge agreed. I was emancipated, and we immediately started into the court processes for me being in trouble for yelling at a kid for turning on and off my lights at the Colton Boys and Girls Home. That's all I did was yell at him. And I was arrested by none other than Jerry's children. Their uncle, Adam Frericks, is the one who arrested me. And he told me I was the most respectful person he had ever arrested. Imagine that. Now, Alicia Bollinger likes to use her looks to get sympathy. And she knows that boys want to fuck her. And she does use that to great effect in order to get her drugs, in order to get sympathy when she does evil shit to people. That doesn't make it okay. Now, I did tell you guys that I was going to post up the thing from Samantha D, didn't I? So we'll do that. Your channel. Samantha. Here it is. Copy link address. We'll post this one up here for y'all too. This is Samantha Daniels. She can verify the shit about Alicia Bollinger. And then we'll see what we can come up with about Bobby. Dear Bobby Forrest, call with Bobby while at Jamie's. We'll copy link address and put that one up. And then we will go to here's one where I was pissed off. Bobby has been letting me know he has cancer and has to go to treatment. And he was, well, this is from 5 months ago. Oh, here's one. It's called I Hate Drugs. This is while I was at Brett Roloff's. It's not entirely related to this situation, but this is where I was leaving. I was leaving this situation when I got on the bus to go to South Dakota while this high-speed chase was going on between Ted Bollinger and Alicia Bollinger. Um, I don't know why that exactly came up, though. All right, let's just go to videos, and we'll scroll down because this is actually a recent video that please help find Bobby Forrest. By the way, Bobby Forrest is still not been heard from so far as I know. I posted up on his timeline. None of his friends seem to give a shit. Let's see. The case of Amy Spencer, Brad Keller, just another routine call to the FBI. Autism Society 1. Talking with Todd. A man can't be the victim. Karen, another voice for the voiceless. Sorry about that. I know it's taken a minute, but another rape victim in Boulder needs your help. Pastor Benny. It should be in here somewhere. I'm sorry about all this waiting. I would like to optimally have an environment where I can get some peace and quiet, but I'm actually glad for where I'm at. I'm glad the guy is able to deal with me as well as he is. And, as a result, I mean, I'm doing the best I can with the resources I got. I believe this is it. A call to another of Natalie's friends. Copy link address. I'm going to post it up here. Now let's play just a couple of seconds of it just to make sure that we got the right one. Yep, this is it. Actually, I'm going to edit the video. And I'm going to change it to say his name. Bobbiefforrest. I don't remember if it's one R or two R's in his name, but as long as it says Bobby, when I look it up as a keyword, I'll be able to find it again. That way I don't have that complication again. There were a lot of phone calls and evidence that was on that computer that was stolen in Washington State that I should have posted on my YouTube privately so that they would still be here. However, with all of my things getting stolen repeatedly and me jumping through a bunch of hoops to try to get housing up there and trying to appease the people at Starbucks, trying to appease the pastor dude who didn't do jack shit, trying to appease Flo, who was one of the security guards. It was just a ginormous pain in the ass. Oh yeah, and they're not having any goddamn money thing. I do want to give you a short timeline of my stuff getting stolen up there. There was a woman named Patricia. She sent me some money so that I could get the fuck out of there. Well, that money didn't show up quite yet. I was still waiting on it, and I let somebody who was homeless use my phone, and this is all documented here on YouTube. Um, that woman stole my phone, so I used that $100 to get her a phone so that I'd get that phone full of evidence back. However, she had taken that phone that was full of evidence and disconnected it from my account, and I wasn't able to get it back connected to my account. So the evidence that was on it, um, that I had taken after I got it back, did not transfer over to my Windows 10 profile thing. Um, Also, my other computer that had been stolen, they did the same thing to it. And although I was using it to record videos, they did not transfer over to my Windows 10 profile, which really sucks because there was 6 phone calls between myself and Bobby Forrest, and a phone call between myself and Jamie Curtis in there that were extremely important. There is a possibility that they still did do that, but I need to get somebody who is familiar with these programs who can help me find that stuff. I've literally at this point I've spent hundreds of hours trying to go through videos, trying to figure out how to, because there's 3 different email accounts for this. Um, 2 of them, one of them was my original one. Um, the next one was one that I made while I was up in Montana, and Miss Amanda Ingline helped me set that one up. It looks like this thing froze up. So the second one was the one that Amanda Ingline had helped me set up when I was in Montana in early 2018. And the third one I set up while I was in Cheyenne, Wyoming, in I believe it was the summer of 20, 2019. I'm not sure exactly when, but we can go back through my videos here and find out exactly when. Um, the thing is, I put the evidence up here as much as I could. When I was able to record something, I did. There were a lot of situations, being as I've been basically stuck in public or stuck in people's houses where they have rules that prevent me from doing these things. Like Shannon Alvarado, she didn't want me recording during the day because she didn't want people hearing her daughter in the background and thinking that she was abusing her daughter. She doesn't. She does not abuse her daughter. She gets really loud, which her daughter reacts to, and her daughter gets abused. But that's neither here or there. The fact is, no matter how drunk Shannon gets, she will never hit her daughter ever. But that was the rule there. When I was up at my dad's, the rule was I couldn't make videos. And you know what? Fuck that dude. He was busy screaming at me every fucking day that I was there until I finally quit talking. Thought it was fine and dandy. Train. Also, speaking of Tacoma, Washington, there was a child molester who was recently shot to death up there. I have video footage of him, a conversation between him and I, because the computer that was stolen. See, first, my telephone was stolen by that woman, and then my computer was stolen by another homeless guy, and a different homeless guy helped me to get it back. And then my backpack was stolen while I was recording a video. And when that backpack got stolen, it had my USB sticks full of evidence, and it had 3 telephones full of evidence in it. And when it was stolen, that was the situation with Officer Schneider, where I took the dude who stole my backpack, as well as 2 witnesses to the fact that he stole my backpack, and he didn't care. He got into his vehicle and drove away. And when I called in to make a complaint about him to his sergeant, into his department, it was Officer Schneider who called me back. Then later, when I was talking to officers from Tacoma Police Department about Officer Schneider and what he had done, they claimed that they didn't know an Officer Schneider. Imagine that. Meanwhile, I have conversation with Officer Schneider recorded on this very YouTube. Blam, bitches! The thing is, when you are accused of assaulting a police officer, whether or not they drop the charges is arbitrary because that's still on your arrest record unless, ding, 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 you have money and a lawyer. So they can destroy your life through slander because you don't have the money for a lawyer. Imagine that. God bless America. Let's hope Ted Bollinger doesn't have the money for a lawyer. He did. He was given money to bury his daughter, and he spent it doing what? Getting fucked up on drugs and going on vacation to Boston. Who goes on vacation after their daughter dies? What a sick fuck.